All right, y'all. Hello, good evening. My name is Deontay Richardson Jones. You can just call me D. I'm the project director for the Accelerated Transfer Academy, and also I'm the advisor for the Tau Sigma National Honor Society. As you can see, this is not the video from the Tau Sigma meeting that we had on Tuesday of this week. It's now April 3rd. This is Thursday. We kind of sort of accidentally didn't record the video. So you're missing out a little bit on what we are talking about as far as the meeting is concerned, but or what we were talking about as far as the meeting is concerned, but I'm going to do my best as far as giving you as much of that information as possible. And then, of course, should you have any questions at all, you can reach out to us at tausigma@uhd.edu. Okay. So again, my apologies for getting this out so late, but hopefully this answers some of the questions that you might have about Tau Sigma and kind of introduces you a little bit into what is going to be going on in Tau Sigma this upcoming month as well. So let's see if I can share my screen real quick. Um, we will do a presentation here. Maybe if I can get this to work. This is why I always have help whenever I'm doing this kind of thing. So I appreciate your patience here. There we go. Okay. And then I also apologize if you hear any notifications. People like to email me a whole lot these days. All right, so I'm going to share my screen over here. Okay, so first of all, let's kind of get past this stuff. Actually, let me stop sharing my screen. Maybe. Okay. So first of all, for those that are interested in what Tau Sigma actually is, so if you are not a current member of Tau Sigma, this is what Tau Sigma is. So Tau Sigma is a National Honor Society specifically for transverse students. What those what the Tau Sigma organization offers, or it's a student led org, right? So we have a president, a vice president, a treasurer, right? An engagement officer, all of those kind of different things, right? In this org, right, you have to meet a couple of qualifications, right? So this is specifically a org for transfer students entering or who are already at the University of Houston downtown who have a 3.5 GPA or higher, who have completed at least 30 credit hours at their previous institution, and who have completed at least 12 hours at the University of Houston downtown. Those are pretty much the only requirements, right? There's also, should you be invited into the program, there are also dues that you have to pay, which is pretty on par for most honor societies or different student organizations that you end up in. And those dues are paid so that they can be used for different programming that the officers of the program put together, right? So, for example, there will be a induction ceremony at the end of the month, and I'll share the PowerPoint and kind of show you that as well. There will be an induction ceremony, and that induction ceremony, most of it will be paid for with the dues from the group of students who just paid their dues this past semester. All right, so it's not like we're just charging you that money and doing nothing with it, right? It's reinvested back into the work and the programming that you all will be doing as Tau Sigma members. Um, Again, it is specifically for transfer students. There are other National Honor Societies, and maybe you've gotten an invite from those before, but those are not necessarily specifically for transfer students. Also, some of the cool things that come from Tau Sigma as well, right? There are opportunities for you to earn a scholarship. We actually had one of our previous members last semester win a scholarship from Tau Sigma, and it's a nationally promoted scholarship, right? So they won it against other people that were in the nation as well. There's also what do they call it? A leadership conference that Tau Sigma does every year. I want to say last year they did it in Chicago, but unfortunately, because we were just now starting Tau Sigma up again, we were not able to go. So I do anticipate this upcoming fall, hopefully we will be able to send 2 or 3 people to that. I believe it usually happens either in October or November. So that's something to keep an eye out on as well. It is not something that you reach out necessarily to us for, right? It's something that you have to be invited to. So what I do at the end of every semester is I run a report on the students who have a 3.5 GPA or higher and who have all of the other requirements that I talked about earlier on, right? And then I send an email letting you know, hey, you're going to get an email from the national office about being invited into Tau Sigma, just as a heads up, so that you don't think that it's spam or anything like that. It's an actual legitimate organization. And then that's how you accept it. And you click on a link, follow the instructions, all of that different stuff, right? So, however, should you have any questions about that, or as the end of the semester approaches and you haven't received an email, or you're not sure if that email went out yet, and you're just wanting to know, maybe you didn't get invited or maybe you missed it, feel free to shoot me an email, right? Have no problem with that at all. You can send us an email again at Tau Sigma, TAU Sigma, at uhd.edu. Okay. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we spoke about that we kind of left out. I think that's the main thing, right? So once you get accepted and you're invited and you accept your invite into the program, you pay your dues. Once you are now a member of the UHD chapter of Tau Sigma, you are a Tau Sigma member for life, right? So even if your GPA falls below a 3.5, or even if you're not a full-time student or whatever, you're in Tau Sigma, you're in Tau Sigma. Now, there is an expectation for you to be considered an active member of the UHD chapter, right? That there's a couple of things that you have to do. One, because it is an academic success program, right? Or not an academic success program, but it is an academic organization, right? Because of that, we have an expectation that you'll meet with a success coach at least 2 times a semester. Now, obviously, if you are currently a member, we kind of got y'all admitted or into the program a little late. My expectation is not that you just start meeting with a success coach 2 times before now and finals ends, right? There will definitely be some leeway, so don't panic about that. So meeting with your success coach 2 times. We just want to make sure that you keep up the academic excellence that got you into Tau Sigma in the first place. There is also an expectation that you will complete what I am losing my train of thought. You will complete community service. There we go. The community service hours. So the community service hours for non-officers of the organization are 10 hours per semester. For officers, the expectation is that you have 15 hours per semester. And yes, we do allow you to quote unquote double dip. So if you're already doing something for another organization, or if you're already doing something, on your own time that is considered community service, as long as you provide the documentation for that, we consider that, you helping out and being involved in the community. Because again, that's one of the largest parts about being in Tau Sigma is being engaged, being involved with the community and the stakeholders of the university as well, right? So let's say that you have some issues as far as like finding a place to do volunteer hours, or finding a place to do volunteer hours that match your schedule. Come talk to us. There's plenty of things that go on in the Gator Success Institute and SLI, Student Leadership and Involvement, that revolve around specifically working, tabling, right? All of those different things that occur. So because of that, we can use your help. So if you can't find anything, if you can't find a way to actually get some support, or not get some support, but get some hours in, come talk to us. We can absolutely find a way to get you involved and get you those community service hours. So, and then just like I said, with the success coaching aspect of it, we're already in April. None of us have an expectation that if you just joined Tau Sigma this semester, that you are going to complete those 10 hours this semester, right? The spring semester is a tricky situation for you to start your Tau Sigma journey. So don't worry, we've got your back there. Okay. I think for the most part, that is pretty much what we talked about as far as Tau Sigma, how to get into it, what it is, right? And now I don't want to jump too much into what Emily is the vice president of the student org. I don't want to jump into much of what she presented because I don't do well presenting other people's material, but I do want to inform you about some of the things that are coming up in April that she did share with the whole group. Okay. So let's see if I am technologically savvy enough to make this work. Cool. Okay, so hopefully this works here. Um, so this was kind of sort of just some of the struggling here to see. There we go. Um, some of the things that she spoke about, right? So as far as getting the most out of school, right? Get involved, showing up and sharing your experience. Those things are very, very, very important, right? And that's part of the reason why we wanted to bring Tau Sigma and make Tau Sigma exist, right? Or exist again. Tau Sigma used to be really active on campus, and then there was like a 5-year hiatus, mostly because of COVID and different things like that. So this is only the second semester that we have had active Tau Sigma members. But the reason being is because this is how you get the most out of school, is being involved, being academically excellent, right? Networking, getting involved in your community and with the stakeholders, with the staff, with the faculty on your campus, right? And this is a large part in that. Um, I don't, I love this. I love the candy, but we'll skip past that. Um, the this is actually something that I speak about with my students often is don't forget why you're here, right? One of the best pieces of advice that my father ever gave me when it comes to school is do not go to school and just exist, right? So don't just be here and exist as another person that's here, get involved. And that's what Tau Sigma is about. So if you're not in Tau Sigma yet and you have that 3.5 GPA and you're wanting to figure out how do I get more involved? How do I be more active on my campus? This is a great place to start, right? So if you see that email at the end of the semester inviting you to Tau Sigma, definitely select on it and be a part of a great team. And here's the important stuff, right? The upcoming stuff. So if you're already in Tau Sigma, these are some of the events or some of the things to keep an eye open for. So the officer positions are definitely open now. They'll be selecting officers, I guess, by the end of the semester. I'm pretty sure that QR code is how um, you can start that. There will be a game and trivia night that they'll be hosting as well on April 17th. The president or the VP, one of the two, who are going to be the president is Julian Byrd. They will be reaching out to you all about these events and letting you know. You should have been added into the campus groups site as well. Which is where you'll be able to upload your information as far as your contact hours, or not your contact hours, but your community service hours. And that's also where you'll be able to track what parts of your requirements have you completed, so on and so forth. There'll be a pizza social on April 22nd. Get a slice of pizza, hang out with some of the members and the officers as well. I highly encourage attending these kind of things because, again, the more people that you know, the better, especially when it comes to college, and especially as a transfer student, because a lot of us get into the bad habit of, we're busy, we have families, we have work, we have all of these things going on. And then we kind of don't get involved on campus, right? We miss those opportunities to network and rub elbows with people who could possibly make our lives better, right? Who could actually help us out a whole lot. Funny story, my best friend right now is someone that I met because I decided to reach out to someone that was in my class. So we met when I was in undergrad, and we didn't even meet each other. I met his roommate. His roommate invited me over to work on a project together. And then that is how I met my best friend. Right. So, and we do business together. We make music together. We do all kind of things like that. Right. So these are vital opportunities for you to meet people that can possibly be helping you in the future, right? So please, please, please try to attend some of these, especially if you're in Tau Sigma, and especially if you paid your dues, because yeah, you paid you paid money in order to be in that, right? So go enjoy the fruits of, your labor, as far as, you having that 3.5 GPA, you taking care of things academically, and of course, paying your dues. And then there's going to be an induction ceremony April 26th. So the induction ceremony, I don't have a whole lot of information on it right now. Again, it's a student-led org. So I'm just the advisor for the Tau Sigma, right? So these things I'm not planning. It's the president, the vice president, and the rest of the officers are doing that. So don't, I would say, don't be looking for information from me about it. Look for information from Julian Bird or Emily about specifically these events, right? But they should be emailing you. And if not, and you're wondering if you missed some information, you can always email us again at tausigma@uhd.edu. Okay. So I'll leave this up for a second. Okay, yeah. And really that's it. So let me stop that sharing. So again, I deeply apologize for us not being able to get you the actual recording, because there was a lot of great questions that were asked. But even if you have a question about something that I did not address today in this video, please do not hesitate at all to, again, reach out to us at tausigma@uhd.edu. I monitor that email as well as the officers as well. So someone will absolutely get back to you. Our goal is always to get back to you within 24 to 48 hours. Okay, so if you don't hear anything outside of 48 hours, email us again. Okay, you're definitely not bothering us, and we want to do right by you to make sure that as a student here, as a member here, or as someone who's interested in Tau Sigma, you get as much information as you can and you're supported in every way possible. All right, so go Gators. Y'all have a great evening. Take care.